The topic about which we'll be learning today is movement marketing and controversial marketing.
Movement marketing is the ability to take advantage of ongoing events and creating communications and marketing collaterals around such events. A great example of such marketing is advertisements made by Amul. Controversial marketing is a tactic whereby a brand intentionally offends or surprises audiences by violating the norms of social and personal values and morals. Such strategy has been used by Nivea in its Vitus Purity campaign.
I am profoundly delighted to take an opportunity to introduce the guest speaker for the evening, Ms. Sultana Khan. Ma'am is currently working at Start Blocks International, designated as Chief Marketing Officer. She has previously worked with ATMC Australia and been associated with MDIS Singapore as Country Manager and also with VIEC as Manager Development Strategist and Business Analyst. Ma'am has more than 10 years of experience in marketing and sales in the education industry. She is an erudite marketer and an alumna of University of Delhi. Respected ma'am, we are truly delighted with your presence. I request you to please address the gathering and cast the light of your knowledge upon us. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Kunal and Arpita. So for the introduction, I'm very glad. And I think you have mentioned the background. So just to check, so all of you, the people who are attending the session today, are they all doing marketing or they are the prospect to see the career in marketing? They might be from different areas or they are studying in the same industry, so what do you think? Because I think one of the things which I always feel great for any webinar is let's have a communicative session, right? Because we'll talk about it, but if you have any questions, if you feel like, that there's something which you would like to know more, please feel free to put the questions ahead or unmute yourself and ask a question, because that will be more interesting, because that's what marketing is all about. So as Kunal has rightly said, so I'm into the industry for last 12 years, basically into marketing, taking care of different departments, have traveled to almost 20 countries, lived in 3-4 countries, not many, for the same work purpose. So one thing I can always tell you is that the sales marketing goes a long way. If you want to really make a career, don't think that you're going to be restricted to one place or one country. Because being in marketing, I know I have traveled to 19 countries altogether, right? And lived in 3 countries. So people see that, okay, marketing, maybe after a while, there's not much of the scope, but trust me, a marketing can really make or break a brand. So that's the strength of marketing, right? So today we are going to talk about the moment marketing and controversial marketing. So I'll just share a small PPT. But as I said, let's talk more about, let's make it more like discussion kind, not just the PPT. So it's a definition. So what is moment marketing? So moment marketing is actually it's an ability to take the advantage of an event which is happening right now, right? Which is very spontaneous, which is going on in the air currently, and use that as your marketing strategy. Like example, what you can see it on screen is Zomato ad, right? But if you see the picture, it is iPhone logo, right? What they have done is they have actually taken 3 cups, made the iPhone cameras, and that's how they're using it, right? So this is more about Zomato has nothing to do with iPhone, but they know iPhone 13 is going to launch. Everybody is waiting for it. Everybody wants to, this is the trend, right? So actually exploiting the trend and reaching the people out this is what is called moment marketing. And you can use it in different ways, right? iPhone is always, so this is just one of the example where you can see the industries might not be related, but they just had a benefit. They don't even have to say that this is Apple or this is what it is, right? But they have just used the trending thing which is going on, and they have just used it for the moment marketing. So now this is moment marketing for all of you. Now, if we talk about the other examples, because see, I think it's very important to understand that, okay, how a trending thing is going on, because as a brand, and how do you use it? So you just take the concept out. You don't deal with the same person, you don't deal with the same situation, you just take the concept out and use it. Now this is something which is latest. Everybody has seen it. This has become a big drama in 2020 press conference when actually Ronaldo took off the Coke bottles, right? And immediately after that, Fevicol came off with their own ad, and you see the line was, "Na bottle hategi, na valuation hategi." So it's the same thing, right? But how have they used it? How smart is that, right? They have not used the brand, they have not used the person, they have not used anything. They have used that moment. They have used that trend because everybody was talking about it, because everybody was in shock, because, and imagine the impact of this one action, because actually the valuation, the share, everything has gone down for Coke the next very day. But how other companies have used this, because this is viral, everybody's talking about it. So how do you use that particular trend is actually a moment marketing, right? So I'll give you more examples for it. Oops, just a second, sorry. Just 1 second, guys. Yep. So let me just share the screen again. Okay. So now what is the better example than Corona right now, right? So you can see that different companies are actually using this time. We all know how important the vaccination is. We know that everybody is having only one thing in mind, that the next step, if you really want to take in life, you want to move forward, you want to travel, you want to do anything, you have to get the vaccination done. Now, how smartly all the companies have used it. Look at Hero Honda, latest post. You can see we can cross this together, right? Look at Domino's, right? The shots you want, but the shots you need. So they're just using the same thing, but they're using the trend. And this will go viral because this has a social message too, right? So this is something not only related to the examples, but it is also that how do you see the next step, right? Now, this is, if you say a pioneer in moment marketing is Netflix, they always use it, because one of the benefit for moment marketing is it involves news. It can see how you take the trends. It can be from news, it can be from the events, it can be any trending campaign to evoke the spontaneous interaction with anybody, right? Why I've taken this example, let's say, imagine it's Netflix, but they have used Rasode Mein Kaun Hai, and this was very popular, right? Nobody imagines it that way, but Netflix is actually one of the brand. They always believe in moment marketing, because the best part about moment marketing is, even if people do not have much of the marketing budget, they can go for it. Like example, Tesla, they don't have much of the marketing budget, but they always go by the moment marketing. So what you can do is that you can pick up an event. Like example, recently, all our champions are winning the gold and silver. So what people do, they just pick it up and write a congratulations ad and spread it across, right? That's moment marketing. You're not doing anything, but at the same time, it can go wrong too. One important thing to understand in marketing is there are plus and minuses in every campaign. So think about it. But this is the easiest way. You're just using the line. You're not using the brand. You're not using anybody's content. You're just using something which is trending as a statement, and then take it forward so that the reach will increase, right? And this does not need much budget to be created. You just have to pick up the right trend matching your brand. That's how you do the moment marketing, right? So it's easy to reach, especially on social media, because now we all know one thing we have all learned during this pandemic for 2 years is the whole world is on the social media. And what eventually marketing does is the brand recognition. So the more they see the brand, the more they see your logo, the more they see you, they will recognize. And if what else is better than the latest event, because anything happens in the market, everybody is excited about it, they want to know about it, and they'll be like, okay, let's go for it. So imagine Netflix, and what next we have seen is Amul, another, so Amul is somebody, they always use moment marketing. They are on the top, right? Like Netflix is international brand. Still, they know what to do with the moment marketing, right? But Amul, if you'll see big ads, right? So PV Sidhu, that was the latest. That's the reason I said you have to be careful. So what they did is they actually put a one-pager full ad on PV Sidhu in the newspaper congratulating her. But it went wrong because she actually sued the company, right? So you have to see that you don't use the face, you don't use something which might go wrong, but generally moment marketing does not go wrong anywhere. You can see Prime Video is actually using the resolution to release Mirzapur because everybody is waiting for Mirzapur. Some of the, you can see there are documentaries, some of the cities, some of the places, they're really trending. So just using that one word can actually get you on the top, because what do you actually want eventually? You want to be known, you want your brand to be seen, you want to be searched more. And not only you, the moment somebody writes Mirzapur or I write a latest event, even you will pop up. So that's the whole purpose. So marketing is all about creating that particular awareness. And customers are already a part of this 24 by 7 news cycle. Because when we do the marketing, we identify our market, we identify our audience, we identify the campaign, and then we take out the reach. So when you identify all of that, the one of the best thing about any of the events right now is go by the trend. Pick up the trend, used in the moment marketing, and that's how you go ahead about it, right? So that particular, you can say the intimacy, the richness of the content, you're not putting much, you are just taking a word, you're just taking that information, but it has suddenly kind of increased your reach, because now everybody right now will be searching, oh, who won the gold medal, because everybody's talking about it. I also want to know what is happening in my country with my people. So I want to be a part of this trend and information too, because I don't want anybody to say, hey, do you know about this? And I'm like, I have not heard about it, right? So if you know, or if you don't know, what you'll do, you'll go on Google and search it. So the moment you search it, these brands will pop up. So that's how you use a trend into a marketing with their content, right? So what do brands want? They want to insert themselves into a daily life, daily conversation. The whole purpose for me as a marketing is, I want you to talk about me, but that cannot be direct. I might be Amul, but nobody's going to talk about a butter whole day, right? But people are going to talk about something which is happening every day. But with that particular event, they're also going to see Amul all the time, right? So these are the brand values which you increase with these trends, right? Simple people talking about your brand, making use of these trends, and then ensure that we are talking about it, right? And then we take this to the next level, right? So this is what moment marketing is. So now anybody who has the question or wants to know more about moment marketing, please feel free. Are we allowed to have the questions here?
Actually, questions will be taken up once you complete your part.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
So let me just a second, yeah, because I think there's something. All right. So before this, because this slide has to come in, and then, all right. So now after this, yeah. So the bosses, as I said, the bosses in the market is basically, for me, it's Netflix and Amul. That's how we see it working. Now, controversial marketing. This is absolutely different from moment marketing. So in a controversial marketing, what you do is you pick up something which is very shocking. You shock the market. You use the word, you use the campaign, you use something which is going to attract a lot of attention. But remember, it's controversial eventually. So it has to be something which will shock everyone. I'm like, okay, what is this? Did I see wrong? Did I heard wrong? Or is it what it is about? So you can see it basically, as a brand, you deliberately offend people, right? That there is a consequences, that you're going to hurt people, that it might go right, it might go wrong, but the chances are it might go wrong more, but your reach will be super high, because people talk more about controversies than a normal marketing campaign. That is what controversial marketing is all about, right? Surprise them, shock them, right? Give them something which is actually kind of violating their social values, their personal values, their morals, their thinking, something you're challenging them, right? Now you look at the ad on the, on my right hand side. This is Zomato. They have used the word MC and BC, which we all know, okay, come on, you cannot do this in the marketing. And a lot of people will not like it. And that's where you have seen they, some of the ads go so wrong that people end up burning, end up, we have to take down the advertisement, we have to really pay for it, we might get sued, not by one, by multiple people. But this will give you a immediate catch. They're like, have you heard about this? This campaign was superly taken by a lot of people. The young generation will take it like that. And what is it, right? It's mac or cheese. It's not MCBC what we are talking about. It's a smart thinking. But when I'm making that ad, when I'm actually using these words, I know I'm going to hurt a lot of people. I know I'm going to hurt a lot of sentiments, and I'm going to challenge a lot of morals. But we still do it because of the reach. So that's what the reach is all about. So the controversial marketing, you have to be mentally prepared that how does it go. Like, this is one of the example, right? But you can also see a lot of protest. People come on road to actually go against you. But somewhere, imagine how big that brand has become, because now everybody's talking about Zomato. Like, okay, but who is that? They're like, hey, that's a Zomato ad. And a lot of people are doing the search, or they go and see that particular, this particular flag which was there all whole the city, and they're like, okay, now this is interesting. So you might like it, you might not like it. It is generation gap as well, it is people's gap as well, it is social value, it is educated, non-educated, but you're going to challenge a lot of people with controversies, right? That's how you use controversial marketing. So to make an impact, right, what you have to exactly do, you have to use it a right way, right? So that you are going to have a controversy, but you have to ensure that you are taking the right path. You should know the pros and cons, you should know the agenda, you should know how you're going to measure the results, and eventually then you finalize what to pick up and what to not, right? I'll show you another, picture where a shopper is thinking of signing up for English classes, right? So you have to do something, English speaking classes in India, something like that. That's what we do with the normal, advertisement, because you want to be there at the right time, at the right moment. And that's how the marketing goes in. And that's where the advantages are going to appear to you, because we have to find the target, we have to optimize your content, we have to automate your ads, and this all should match with what your, what is happening with your previous campaigns, right? Because eventually you have to measure the results as well. You cannot just say that, okay, I'm just going to put something, but how do you evaluate? Just getting the negative impact is not what you're looking for. It should be something positive as well. Now, like, this is a very controversial, insensitive ad, especially for China. People did not like it because what Amul said is Wuhan se Yuhan tak, yeah, Wuhan se Yahan le aaye, right? So we all know what does this mean, right? And they will not like it. So this is something which is again insensitive for a tribe, for a country, and you're challenging them, right? They're not going to like it for sure, right? But at the same time, a lot of people who blame Wuhan for it, they'll be happy about it. They'll be like, हाँ यार सही तो है, Wuhan से ही तो आया, right? So there's a class, there's a segment which will like it, and there's a segment which will not like it. But these are the example of insensitive or controversial ads you can see. Now, Tanishq, this is the latest. They made this particular ad, which was nothing. They wanted to show this could be, actually showing a democracy in India. This could be to show that how do we live together. But people did not take it positive. In Surat, they actually burned the whole showroom of Tanishq. And eventually, Tanishq has to put this particular ad back, and they have to withdraw all the promotions related to it because this did not go well at all. So they were Maybe it was intentional, maybe it is not, but this is definitely a controversy. Though we live in democracy, but we have a lot of sensitive people and groups and religions which do not approve this, right? And it was just what? It was just two religions coming together and celebrating the event, but it's more like how did people perceive it, right? So this is a very big example. That's the reason you have to be very, very sure that controversial marketing can go either ways, right? So just be clear about it. So the Tanishq jewelry, this is ekatva, right? Lot of controversies. Ad has to go off. Imagine all the money you put to make that ad, all the efforts, all the marketing budget. Tanishq put a lot of marketing budget in their promotion. Everything was in vain, but at the same time everybody was talking about Tanishq. Hey, did you see that ad? I personally myself, I was not following it until somebody told me the controversy, and I had to go and actually see the ad. And the next day it was taken off. So, but a lot of people did save that video to circulate, to give it to each other, to just show on WhatsApp. So they are still in the market, but with a lot of negative impact on them, because they burned the showroom. They really had to go and they have to come up with a new ad which is absolutely different of what they did in this particular campaign, right? So this is how you see different controversies. Now, what are the pros and cons? Because every marketing has it, right? So the pros on that, people start talking about you immediately. If there's a controversy, if there's a challenge, if there are things, people will pick up and they will start talking about you into their day-to-day life. You're sitting with somebody and they'll be like, hey, did you hear about it? And you'll be like, yeah, I did. And if not, you'll just go and search it. So it gives you that people's reaction immediately. It also evokes the emotion. I don't know, did I like it, did I not like it? Now different people will perceive that ad in a different way, right? A lot of them will like it or they will not like it, but eventually it's an emotion which you awake, right? So it's all about that, right? And it can increase your sales too, because there are a lot of people who will like it and who will actually sympathize and will go and actually back you up. So it can increase the sales eventually. That's what marketing is all about, right? But it has 100%, it has something which is going to offend people, because you are challenging a lot of things, right? So that you have to keep in your mind. It can, to some extent, sometimes it can damage the brand reputation. So you have to actually evaluate the risk level. How much risk am I ready to take if I go with this campaign, right? So this is something you have to see before or while you are doing this particular marketing, right? And it might take away the attention from the actual product, because there are a lot of ads which we have seen. We end up remembering the event or the message, but nobody talks about the product, right? So your branding or your name should be there with the campaign. Never do that that particular controversy becomes bigger than your campaign. Because even if your agenda is okay, whatever, I might get a lot of sympathy, but to actually get a sympathy, they should remember the brand. So if they only remember the controversy, it is not successful. So we have to eventually also ensure that the controversy is not bigger than the brand, right? So always remember that, and then you have to see, like Whitehead Junior. Yeah. So they have this marketing campaign, placed on this kid who is abruptly very intelligent, and, who is from the childhood, who is actually talking about the employability, right? And now a lot of people are like, he's just a kid, right? He's not even in the past class fifth. That's how he looks like. And he's talking about the employability, what junior head is doing, because we want our kids to be studying and this and that. But due to this campaign, a lot of people also thought, oh my God, even my kid can do that. They can go to AI, they can do something amazing, make an app, and they can become really big. Now you see, in a month, if you see the figures on the screen, right, the revenue run rate for the average revenue figure based on 1 month actual revenue, from 75 million in June, with one ad, it gone up to 220 million in August. Now, do you see the impact? Because whatever I say, sometimes I also feel like, but maybe even my kid can do that. It has something really amazing. And He might create an app and we learn money, and he learned the skill. You never know. And at the same time, there were a lot of controversies like, what are you teaching to the kids? They should be studying, not thinking about employability when they're a child, or where they're just 7 8 years old. But look at the campaign effect, the difference, 75 million to 220 million. Now this went positive. So you had controversy, you used a different way, you did all of that, but this increased your revenue. Whereas the previous ad, which I showed, did not increase the value. It might have got the sympathy, it might have got the brand awareness, it might have got you a lot of attention in the market at that particular time, but it did not increase the sales or the revenue. Now, this campaign, though it's a controversy, but at the same time, there are a lot of people who think that this might work and they enrolled, right? So this is where you have to be very, very critical when you are developing a campaign and you're looking into the controversies that, okay, is it going positive? Is it not? And then we can find it out, right? So if you'll see now, Kim, everybody talks about it, right? And for them, there are a lot of controversies as well. They're not the only ones that people are always talking positive. So she and the siblings, they have done a lot of things, but they have gone to the next level of it. Are we ready? Not everybody is ready for it. They take a positive, they take a negative, but they are always there. But the benefit is still people talk about them. They're still the brand, they're still known, right? So just think about it, that what can or cannot work. So as I said, the prawns, it'll draw attention definitely, because people will talk about it. They like it, they don't like it, whatever it is, but they will talk about it. It will draw the attention. Then it also create a brand awareness, because everybody, because sometimes if they're not able to find the campaign, they'll be like, okay, who is running the campaign? Hey, that's Tanish. Okay, I'll search Tanish. So at least for 10 days, it will be there in my mind, Tanish, right? And that's how you see it, right? And it might, if it goes right, it is going to reach the right target audience. That's the benefits, right? But as I said, the other part is it can be divisive, right? So just be prepared. Just take the calculative risk. That's what I recommend. If you want to be really bold, like Kim and everyone, and you say, I don't care, let it happen, whatever will happen, I'm ready, but still think about it a little. So whenever you plan a controversial, event, a controversial statement or an ad, right, always have people who support and who do not support, because that really helps. So those conversation in the teams are very, very important. Think the worst. Always think the worst, that okay, good, perfect, but what will be the worst that will happen? And then plan it. If that worst is worth taking the risk, then you should, right? Then because sometimes we end up losing the customers also. Imagine you have somebody who's religiously following you, and you have got the ad which has hurt their emotions, right? They're not going to come back to you. So you might lose the customers too, right? Because you are talking about their social belief. One thing with not only India, with any community or any country, which I have seen being so many places, is we all have the beliefs. We might have different, but we have beliefs, and we are being having them since our childhood. You cannot change them. You can challenge them, you can use them, you can promote them, but you cannot. It's very, very, very difficult to change it. That's why the revolution takes a lot of time. So you might end up losing few of the customers who do not support that statement, or who think that, okay, it was not, or it is not worth it, right? So that's something which you have to see, right? And it can lead to more work. And when I say more work, not work related to your work, other work, right? That you have to, somebody has sued you, you have to go to the, to the court, you have to deal with it. Somebody burned that particular place, you have to go and take care of it. You have to go to the newspaper. Sometimes you have to give the statement, we have to create a press conference and say, hey, this was the concept. So you have to do a lot of other work which you might have not calculated while creating the campaign, right? So sometimes it end up going there as well. And whenever there's a new task which comes up, right? It need more resources. It need more people. You cannot handle any new work with the same group, because every company just have a calculative resources with their KPIs involved. So whenever there is more work which is out of your territory, that means you need more resources, you need more expenses, and you need more budget, because this is outside what you have planned, right? So now this is the pros and cons of, particular controversial marketing. Now look at this. This is amazing, right? So I just love it. Nike, they used it really well. And this particular campaign, it actually went well for them. Why? Because it was controversial, but at the same time, it was positive. Believe in something, right? Even if it is about sacrificing everything, doesn't mean anything, because I believe in something. This picture was controversial, but the message was amazing. Nike is all about just do it, right? So that's how they use this. They back this controversial formal, keeper with their picture, with the statement, and this actually helped them, right, increase particular sale. 43 million in free advertisement for Nike. Can you believe it? Imagine I mean, as I said, any of the marketing, controversial marketing can really make or break you. And if we are taking the calculative risk, so when we say make, it can be 20, 30, 50 times of what we are thinking. But if it will break, then there'll be a lot of cons involved in it, right? So my only thing is that use controversial marketing. We are all free. We live in a democracy. We are the marketing people. We have to think about it. We have to, take that risk. We have to go out in the market. But at the same time, we also have to know, okay, what can go negative, and take a calculative risk. That's what we all do. So, just don't go mad about it that, hey, no, you know what? I learned about controversial marketing today. Today, I'll go and put this statement. Don't. Sit down, write what can go wrong, what will go right, calculate the risk, and then go for it, right? Because some of the controversies, you can really use it, right? But how do you use it? That's up to you and your team, right? So calculate it, see it, and then you see. Like this ad, brilliant. This person was in controversy. What he said was a controversy, but his statement was amazing. If I see this statement as an individual, I'm like, yeah, I have a goal in life and I'm happy to sacrifice anything to go there. It is positive. Only the person is controversial, right? But this statement went so well with Nike that their sales actually went up by 31%, right? And it is no joke. And this is all time one of the best ads and the immediate attention of the people which Nike has got, right? So everything. So it's controversy, it has a message, it has a brand, and eventually it lead to a lot of positivity in terms of the sales. But that does not mean it might have not affected people. It might have, but the positives were higher than the negatives. And this is where the calculative risk come in. Okay, so now I think this is it from my side. Now I'm happy to have the questions. Anything from anyone or?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such a knowledgeable session. We are sure that everyone here has learned so much. We'll now move on to the question answer round. All the participants are requested to kindly put their questions in the chat box and they'll be taken up one by one.
Ma'am, I had a question. Like, there are so many ongoing events at a particular time. Then how brands decide which event to choose for a movement marketing?
Okay, that's a brilliant question, Arpita, because I think in that ways you have to also see that how relevant that trend is with your brand. Sometimes it can be absolutely different from what you're doing, right? But sometimes it is also like, we see the relevance because now there's so many things trending at that time, right? Because as a brand, the easiest thing is thanking people, or congratulating them, congratulating and a sports, congratulating somebody who has won a medal for us. But it might go negative too. If that person is not happy, they're going to sue you with 5 crores, which recently happened, right? So we have to see that, does it really match what I'm looking for? Just don't go mad. Imagine I am a okay I'm into international education. I basically, we help the student going outside. I start a campaign Rasode Mein Kaun Tha, and they'll be like, excuse me, does not make sense, right? How does it make sense? Okay, Sultana, are you going, like, have you lost it completely? I'm like, no, no, no. So it might help, but at the same time I can also say the reason I'm relating is because my audience is students and they're all talking about it. That's why I'm going, but it is still not relevant, right? So it is something we have to just see that how much and how can you relate. That's very, very important.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, we have another question. Can Tanish controversy be counted as a controversial marketing, as they didn't ask for that controversy, plus they were not even benefited? Was that even marketing?
Okay, it was not definitely it's a marketing. See, you cannot say that it was not a controversial marketing. Reason being, we live in a country and you're releasing an ad in the country which is talking about a social message, getting two religions together, merging. It is a controversy. Even if you're living in any country, there is always one religion which is heavier than another one. So whenever the religion is the most sensitive pinpoint you can take in any, literally any advert, because sometimes we are also scared to ask a religion in the application forms because people feel offended. Why you want to know if I'm a Hindu or a Muslim to give me an admission? Religion is very sensitive. People don't want to talk about it. So it is controversial, marketing 100%. But it's just that they might have, because they might have also, I can also think that, okay, we have moved to a next generation and people will take it positive. But the reality is we still have a lot of group who cannot take it, right? So even when that ad was made, it was definitely from the perspective of controversial marketing, because controversial marketing is not only about identifying the events, it's also about the sensitive things you pick up. Religion is sensitive, right? Our gender is sensitive, our color is sensitive, am I our height is sensitive, how do I look is sensitive. Anybody talks about it, hey, you know what, you are not nice, or you are not fair, or you are, you don't talk proper English, I'll not like it. It's controversy. So anything which has my emotions attached, it's controversial.
Ma'am, we have another question. What about using emotions as story in marketing?
You should definitely, but how do you use that emotion? What is the purpose? Are you going to, see, we have all good and bad emotions, right? The only thing, when we plan a marketing, you just have to see that you're trying to awaken the good emotions. That should be the only agenda. It might get a little bit of negative emotions too, but we cannot have everybody appreciating everything. But the thing is, as I said, when you're calculating and making your ad, and when you have 10 people sitting in the room, 5 are supporting the statement and 5 are not, then who is actually winning in that room? That should be the campaign, right? If everybody says no, it's not going to work, then trust me, it's not going to work. But if there are 5 people who say yes, 5 people who say no, I might still take the risk. I'm like, okay, because the population you're targeting, it's very big. That's the reason I said you first have to find out who is your target audience, what is the strength, what is the number, which are the cities, and based on that you plan your marketing. You just don't plan with your team. I will first identify, okay, this is the region. So even if I have to do a marketing in Gujarat, this is just an example, I say I have to do some marketing in Gujarat. Now I know which religion is very heavy in that particular region, right? And what brand am I going with? Imagine I'm going with some alcohol brand in Gujarat, they'll be like, get out. right? So you have to plan it, you have to identify your target, you have to identify your audience, and then you have to calculate what are you looking for, what is the purpose of this ad, and then you decide it. Emotions are, it's you cannot calculate an emotion, but it's just that take the risk with a very calculative efforts.
There's another question. What should be the plan for a company during a backlash for their marketing campaign?
They always have a plan, but sometimes, because whenever we plan a marketing, as I said, we are always prepared, especially if I go for a controversial ad. I already have prepared myself that, what, we are going to have legal consequences. We might have, people standing outside our office, they break the office, they do this. We always calculate that and then we take a risk. But sometimes it just goes out of your hand. Like burning the showroom was absolutely not something which they have calculated. So this is something which is additional. But all the companies and the brand, even if I use somebody to congratulate and say thanks to, I know that I might get sued for that. I might or I might not, but I'm just using it, right? So we are always prepared, because as I said, you always think about plus and minuses. You do not release something without thinking what will be the negative impact.
There's another question. What, according to you, can be the preventive measure taken in order to evict any kind of poor controversy?
Okay, so I don't know what you mean by poor controversy, because controversy is a controversy. It can be big, it can be small. The impact can be bigger, the impact can be small. So there's no poor controversy, right? And if your agenda is, because sometimes when we are planning these campaigns, our agenda itself is controversy. So you want controversy. But till what extent do I want that controversy? Do I really want to be absolutely blown away by it? Or I'm like, okay, a little bit of controversy is okay. But the whole purpose of the ad is controversy. So there's no poor controversy in it. And you calculate, see I'm sure you're all in the marketing area, or you're looking forward for your career. See, when we create a campaign and when we sit down that what should be your next marketing strategy, you don't sit alone, you sit with a team. People come with the ideas, people come with their own work. I have to propose my marketing plan, I will go with it. So I will have people to challenge me on that, because that's the only way I can calculate what am I doing and what plus and minuses can happen. And that's how you decide these ads. So you do not just go, I think, oh, this is controversy, I go and release it. No. So it is a team involved. It is the people, it is marketing, it is sales, it is management, it is legal, everybody involved. And then a campaign goes out. A campaign has a lot of approvals. It just do not go out like this. So, you can understand that how does it go.
Ma'am, there's another. As a chief marketing officer of a company, how do you approve themes for movement marketing since you're into education sector? If you could please share any recent example used by your marketing team.
Okay. See, for me, moment marketing is still easy. Like for me, the moment marketing was more about congratulating the people for the Olympics, because that is something, it motivates people. Because when I say education industry, see, you can study any stream, you can even study sports. The courses are absolutely, the education is next level. And I deal in helping the students to go out of the country anywhere in the world and explore yourself, right? So any small thing where that event or that moment motivates someone, then I'll do it. So even if I have to use some of our amazing TikTok videos, I will use it in a way that, what, rather doing this, how about doing a mass media or filmmaking course in New York? This can lead you from here to the next level. So I will use it. So I will use that. Okay, every kid who wants to be there are a lot of influencers, because I'm surprised, with one thing I have seen in the last 1.5 years is there's so many influencers around in the country now, and people have lakhs and lakhs of following, and I would love to use it. And this is amazing, right? But how do I use it? It depends on me, because I can always relate it with the education in the way that how can you improve yourself doing the same thing and be at a better place. See, education, I can play around a lot, because I can relate everything with your growth. Education is growth, right? We all have dreams. international education is a dream for everyone. So creating that dream is my job. That's what I do.
Ma'am, there's a question. Can you suggest any magazine to refer which can be used to gather ideas on marketing?
I see, there's no magazine or the books. I've done a lot of courses. My last course, I remember I went to INSEAD in Paris to do my program in Blue Ocean Strategy, which is something not only on one event. It's all about keep exploring and keep thinking. Moment marketing, controversial marketing is immediate, right? So it's not, you can have a marketing course done, but once you start working, your mind will start working. You have to be on the social media, you have to keep on being involved with the latest event. You should know your brand, you should know your audience, and you should know what is the agenda. If you know these three things, you can relate even with a normal message on WhatsApp. I get something on WhatsApp, I'm like, hold on, this matches what I'm looking for, and that's it. So honestly, I don't follow any magazine or any events. I rather follow people. I rather follow a lot of events happening. I rather follow the courses which is happening online. It can be even for one day workshop, but that's how you keep on improving yourself. And that's what marketing is all about. There cannot be one book.
Ma'am, there's a question that controversial ads are really risky. Is it worth risking the brand's name for marketing?
Absolutely. As I said, if it is calculative, look at Nike, right? Look at White Junior. Why will I not take that risk? I will definitely, I would love to see my sales from 75 million to 230 million in 1 month. Who will not like it? See, it's like a jackpot. If it will work, it'll work. If it will not work, that's it. Right? So you have to take that. That's what risk is all about, right? Why we call it a risk? Because it might, like we say investment banking and shares, they're all risk. You might be a millionaire, you might go bankrupt, right? But you're still taking the risk. And that's why everybody say take calculative risk, but you should always try it. If and you never know, but don't think that for everything I'll go for a controversial marketing. No, you go for controversial marketing once in a blue moon. You just don't make like, okay, every ad I'll make either will be moment or will be controversial, because these are just two phases of marketing. There are multiple channels, right? So this is just two ways. That's it.
What skills should we learn to boost our marketing skills?
What skills? See, skills are like, I'm sure you're all studying marketing already, right? So they are teaching you the programs, they're teaching you the ways, because as I said, marketing is a passion. It's challenging, it's depressing. Sometimes you'll be happy, sometimes you'll be sad. Sometimes it works and sometimes it will not work. And, and sometimes you might not even get a lot of acknowledgement for it. That's the reason it's a passion. Because when the sales team does really well, they'll be like, wow, you have done it. But calculating a marketing efforts, it's very, very difficult, right? To have the passion for marketing, to have something new, to have a creativity and keep on thinking and improving yourself is what you need. Because books are multiple, they will teach you how to go ahead with the marketing. In every program they'll tell you, but you have to be up to date with what is happening, because marketing is not limited to any place or any event. Because sometimes you use a same brand, a same ad, a same place for 10 countries. Now how do you know about 10 countries? How do you create something for them, right? So the skills are only that you have to have a passion and you have to do a lot of research. Don't think that marketing and creating an ad is a joke. It's not. It takes weeks and weeks and weeks of discussion, and then you finally take it out. And sometimes even after creating everything, you decide, okay, let's back off, we are not doing this. So it can happen. Just be up to date, keep improving yourself, be online, and keep studying more. One thing I think very important for marketing people is be involved in different areas. Go improve yourself, keep on looking for new opportunities, keep on looking for new interactions, and learn something which is coming every day. Because marketing is evolving. Always see that marketing is evolving. What will work? None of your newspaper ads did work last whole year for 2 years. Why? Because it's corona, right? And then there was a time when everybody say, hey, stop the newspaper at your house, because that's how you get the virus. I'm like, okay. So the only thing which was working the whole time was social media, because we had nothing to do. We are sitting at home and we are online. That's why the social media and digital has become the priority for all the firms, all the brands, all the companies. And that's how you should see it as well, right? So just keep involving, and then you find out the right place. So that's how you see the marketing.
Okay, so we'll be taking the last question for now. Ma'am, in your opinion, what do you feel? Which is better, movement marketing or controversial marketing?
See, moment marketing, the risk is less, right? And the reach increases because the thing is already trending, the thing is already in demand. Whereas controversial marketing takes a lot of time and the risk is higher. So I feel like moment marketing is easier to do compared to controversial marketing, because controversial marketing needs a lot of efforts, a lot of involvement, a lot of approvals, because every company might not be able to afford the consequences, right? Whereas moment marketing is nothing. You're just saying, okay, yeah, hi, hello, and that's it, and thank you and congratulations, and you're just using something which is a new latest TikTok, and that's it. So that's why Amul and Tesla, I give you the example, because you don't need a lot of money for moment marketing. Also, you don't need big budgets. Controversial marketing, you need a lot of budget. Moment marketing, the budget is very small. Once in a while it happens that somebody comes and charge you for something, but 99% it doesn't happen. Because imagine you say congratulations in their team, nobody's going to come and say. They're like, you're motivating people, I'm motivating my own country, my players, my people, right? So it's not going to affect much. So even with very, very, very less marketing budget, you can do that. That's the benefit.
I guess we can wrap up the question answer round now. Thank you so much, ma'am, for clearing all the doubts of the participants. Now, I would like to invite our co-team member, Mohammad Ash, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Arpita. The best and the most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or touched. They must be felt by heart. The sentiment of honor is one such. On behalf of Marcos, the Marketing Society of Maharaja Agrawal College, I'd like to extend my gratefulness to our main resource person, Ms. Sultana Khan, who could be graded as one of the best speakers we have ever had. Thank you, ma'am, for this great session. Each concept you expressed created a deep impact on your audience. Your years of analysis and perception of the topic and your ability to present the subject in such an interesting way produced one of the most memorable days for us. Thank you, ma'am, for enriching us. We are grateful to the governing body of Maharaja Agrawal College for their constant support in all the events conducted by Marcos. A special thanks to our principal, Professor Sanjeev Kumar Tiwari, for providing immense support in making the webinar a success. I extend my gratitude to our ECA convener, Dr. Devosmita Paul, for always being a pillar of support for Marcos. Thank you, ma'am. Furthermore, I would like to convey my gratefulness to the faculty of coordinator, Mrs. Sonam Bhati, for her timely inputs and wise words, which have always helped us, and we will ever remain grateful to you, ma'am. My heartfelt thanks to all the teaching and non-teaching staff whose valuable contribution, blessing, and support helped us to make the webinar a grand success. The anchors of the day, Mrs. Arpita and Mr. Kunal, for involvement and their willingness to complete their task, going far beyond their comfort zone. Last but not the least, I thank all the members of Margos and the audience for their interest in this webinar. Thank you very much for gathering here today. Over to you, Kunal.
Thank you so much, Ash. It's participants like you that makes webinars awesome. Thank you very much for your unwavering attention throughout the webinar. I would like to inform all the participants that a recorded version of this webinar will be available on our YouTube channel, Marcos. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining us. We are looking forward to see you all in the next learning session. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Arpita. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Take care. Bye-bye.